are the first 11, beginning with the away side. Panathinaikos, Chicago. Number 1, Daniel Artiga. Number 2, Alu Mbaye. Number 3, Dimitrios Moratikis. Number 4, Maurice Niklos. Number 5, Gerald Walters. Number 6, Kenzie Unios. Number 7, Joel Houston. Number 10, Arsenios Demetrio. Number 11, Raf De La Linde. Number 14, Belgo. Number 15, Ethan Beyer. Their head coach, Denny Chronopoulos. And now, the starting 11 for your FC Milwaukee Torrent. Number 5, Jesus Cervantes. Number 6, Kevin Juarez. Number 7, Salvador Nunez. Number 8, Jules Paysalon. Number 11, Alex Fillion. Geronimo Salazar. Number 24, Yuri Herbrovich. Number 28, Ethan Kretzer. Number 30, Daniel Reyna. Number 47, Michael Carrion Jr. And your captain, number 99, James Weber. Head coach, Steve Provan. Assisted by Andy Backus. Trainers, Rihanna Weens and Paige Borst. At this time, we ask that you please rise to honor America and all that it stands for, as well as our freedoms, who are those protecting and serving it. The playing of our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome out to this National Premier Soccer League match. Your host today, FC Milwaukee Torrent, taking on Panathinaikos Chicago. This is the home debut for the Torrent this year. They've had 2 games on the road, both losses. First one, a 2-1 loss to Carpathia, team near Detroit. That was a 2-1 loss. And then the second game of the year for the Torrent, a 1-0 loss to Muskegon in a shortened game due to lightning. We'll talk more about those games as the game goes on today. Much thanks to Dylan Dooley introducing both teams, their starting 11s. Something new we're doing here on this FC Milwaukee Torrent live stream. So Torrent comes into today's match 0-2. Talk to head coach Steve Provan. Actually, he was on air with us yesterday at halftime during the women's 3-0 win over Bavarian United. Talked about that he wants his team to be more possession-oriented, move the ball around a bit more, be more confident in their play. He talked about that game out in Muskegon. They really felt like things were just about turning around for them when the massive weather delay hit, and eventually the rest of the game was called off. And in Carpathia, said they're a team that's still just looking to find their feet. They definitely improved from that Carpathia game to the Muskegon game, but still obviously not enough as they went down 1-0 in that shortened game in Muskegon. So both those games taking place in the state of Michigan. And as I said, not only is this the first home game of the year for FC Milwaukee Torrent, but it is also the home debut for head coach Steve Provan, as well as his assistant Andy Bacchus. Beautiful day here in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. A few clouds. It's about 63 degrees. No rain in the forecast. I realize the UEFA Champions League final is also going on at this time. I promise not to spoil anything for you who are on this stream and perhaps recording or waiting for the replay on Paramount for that Champions League final. I may be sneaking some peeks at that game myself once in a while. But for now, full concentration on the first home game of the 2022 NPSL season for FC Milwaukee Torrent. As we go along today, I will be getting to know some of these players for FC Milwaukee Torrent. But we do have quite a few returning players, as those 2 men who had just touched the ball, number 99, James Weber, number 11, Alex Fillion. Torrent coming out today in a 4-3-3. A favored lineup by many coaches around the world in modern football. Juarez on the ball, plays it up to Fillion. Fillion looking for Yuri Hibrovic. Already much better play here by the Torrent, trying to break down PAO very early. In a foot race here, Salazar allows that go all the way back. Little bit of a lighter crowd today than we saw last night for the women's team. Makes sense though, again, UEFA Champions League final on right now, as well as many youth teams traveling out of the state of Wisconsin for various Memorial Day tournaments. Handball called against Salazar. And for those of you tuning in from Chicago, cheering on Panathinaikos, welcome to the stream. My name is Simon Provan. We are so pleased to have you with us. I will do my best to get the pronunciations of all these various names on PAO, and I apologize for those that I butcher. And now that that is out of the way, Torrent looking to move this ball downfield. Nunez, ball still at his feet, plays it out. Able to keep it in is Cervantes. Sends it in. And an early corner kick here as Mbaya sends that one over the goal and thus over the end line. If you can see the flags across the field, you can see it is quite a wind coming in our direction today as the Torrent line up for their first corner kick of the afternoon. Ball played in on the ground. Torrent will want better than that on their corners. Panathinaikos looking for a quick counter. Instead, ball sent out of bounds by Cervente. And if I have my history correct, Jesus Cervente is actually a player for the Torrent that last season, or perhaps a season before that, had played with PAO. Foul called in favor of PAO, their first free kick on this side of the field. Center referee Zach Hallett on the call for that. Ball played in the box. Looked like it could have been dangerous, but instead goes out of bounds for a Torrent free kick. Speaking of your officiating crew today, I had already mentioned your center referee is Zach Hallett. Assistant referee closest to us, Eric Orlowski. On the far side, Armin Benich. And your fourth official today, Arai Durson. Weber on the ball. Plays it to his left. Ecelon plays it in the middle. Now ball in the back line once again. Juarez on the ball. Kratzer sending the ball back up in the middle. Some nice one-touch play here by the Torrent. Salazar looking to send that downfield, instead read well by Mbaya. Weber able to win that ball out of the air. Cervante trying to play this one in the middle. PAO very strong defensively here in the first 5-6 minutes of this game. 0-0 so far. That ball played in the middle, no blue jersey there. Again, PAO looking to try to transition quickly. This could be dangerous for the Torrent, but good play by Juarez, plays it safely back to his goalkeeper. Strong tackle by Mbaya. My apologies, that's Belgo. Goes by the single name of Belgo. Everybody pointing every which way, wanting the throw-in. AR on this side decides a throw-in for the Torrent. Torrent wearing their new blue home jerseys. I know I'm biased, but I think those are absolutely beautiful kits that we're seeing out there on the Hart Park field. Salazar handling duties for the Torrent on this free kick. See the Torrent flooding the left side of the box. And that is where the ball is attempted to be sent. A little bit low and soft, however, from that free kick. Onios plays this to Demetrio. Demetrio sends this ball up to Bayer. Bayer on the far side, able to keep it in bounds. Now plays it in the middle to Lind. Joel Houston on that far side. Ball goes over the end line. Houston wanting a corner kick, but the AR determines it is a goal kick for Milwaukee. Short goal kick for the Torrent. Torrent being a bit patient. long ball sent down the field. That goes out of bounds for a Torrent throw-in. A well-placed ball by Pesolone. Jules in his second year with the Torrent. Easy call by the center referee as Salazar is taken down to the turf. Mentioned head coach Steve Provan making his home debut for the Torrent. So is goalkeeper number 30, Daniel Reyna. Hasn't been called on too much thanks to the Torrent defense and a couple of errant shots by Panathinaikos. But speaking of Panathinaikos, here they go threatening once again, moving this ball downfield. This is Belgo, takes a shot. And I think that'll be the first official save by Reyna. Easy save in the end, as Belgo did not get as much power on that ball as he was hoping. Took a step, looked like he was trying to curve that ball in the air. Instead, perhaps turned his foot just a bit too much there. Definitely had the curve, but not the power or lift that he was looking for. Torrent back in possession of the ball. In the 10th minute now, 0-0 ball game. Ethan Kratzer playing right back. Played this to Juarez, who has possession of the ball once again. Now Nunez. Salazar on this right side, free if he can receive the ball. There it is now, but he is closed down quickly. But instead, a beautiful pass outside of his foot. Easy foul called there on Walters. Saw the Torrent player about to make his way through, just stuck his foot out and caught the ankle of the injured Torrent player. I believe I was going to say who I believe the player is, but I'm actually not quite sure yet. Haven't seen the number, but I believe it may be Nunez. Number 7 for the Torrent. Still down on the ground. Grabbing his ankle. Certainly this early in the game, you don't expect it to be any type of time wasting, so hopefully he is okay. It is, in fact, Nunez. Still grabbing his ankle, limping away from the play now. Michael Carrion Jr. standing over this ball with Fillion. Fillion usually lines up on the left side of the field, but comes over to take this kick. Ball sent in. Initially headed by Chicago, and Chicago still keeps possession. Once again, looking to quickly transition. No foul called, yes? No. Hallett says no foul on that play. We play on. Does look like perhaps Fillion has made a permanent switch at this time, as he started the game on the far side from us and now is on the right side. Kratzer playing this over to Juarez. Panathinaikos playing very compact at the moment, as the Torrent are trying to find a chink in that defensive armor of the men in green. Salazar playing this up to Nunez. Throw in once again. A quick throw. On the ball is Hubrovic, one of my favorite names in all of the squad. Ball sent in. Opportunity for the Torrent. Does not come to fruition, but Torrent win the ball back once again. 13th minute of play, almost 14th minute, 0-0 here at Hart Park in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. If you're just tuning in, you are watching FC Milwaukee Torrent host Panathinaikos Chicago in this National Premier Soccer League regular season match. Foul called against number 11, Raf de la Linde. Tries to win the ball, but in order to do so, he took down Ethan Kratzer from behind. I'd say that's a pretty easy call for Zach Hallett, but nonetheless, good to see a referee making that call. Otherwise, that could have been trouble for the Torrent. Ball sent long once again by Pace Salon. Wind changing direction. Just 10 minutes ago, the wind was blowing in our faces across the field. Now, well, hold that thought. Salazar in the corner for the Torrent. Can he get around his man? No, he can't, but it does go out for another FC Milwaukee Torrent corner kick. Just saying, the wind has definitely changed directions. It was blowing at our face. Now it's going against the Torrent, which actually could help on this corner kick, using the wind to get that ball just beyond the goalkeeper's reach. Ball sent in, perhaps a little too long, but Pesalone on the ball for the Torrent, puts it towards the goal. Fingertip save, well shot, well saved. Great action on that end of the field. Torrent looking dangerous now as they get their fourth corner kick here in only the 15th minute of play. Hallett sorting out some pushing and shoving by both teams. Good game management there from the center referee. Ball sent in once again, and that is a header. Goal! Alex Fillion! The man returns to Hart Park, and it pays dividends. Converting on that fourth corner. Torrent taking advantage, sending it into the goal. th minute of play. First time this year in 3 games, FC Milwaukee Torrent have the lead. This, I thought we may have seen a yellow card as Belgo just shoved the player right in front of him to the ground. No intent on the ball whatsoever. Zach Hallett. I'm hearing everything. Big ol' echo. Apologize for the pause in audio. I was about to say Zach Hallett did tap his pocket on his jersey as if he was going to pull out a yellow card. Then decided at the last moment to instead give a verbal warning. Offside on the Torrent. Hey Salone, a very experienced player out there telling everybody else to just calm down. Working on some confirmations here. The assist on that goal was Carrion Jr., as he was the one responsible for that corner kick. So Carrion will get the assist, and Fillion gets obviously credit for that goal. I believe it may have been a diving header, or perhaps the person before him was making the dive and he was able to get his foot on the ball, not sure, but in the end, doesn't matter how it was scored. The fact is it was scored. And FC Milwaukee Torrent still in the lead here after that 16th minute goal. Now we are in the 19th minute. Chance here for Weber, but instead Gerald Walters gets ahead of Weber on that ball, sends the ball downfield. Throw in at midfield for Panathinaikos. Valgo in the corner, but called offside. Torrent come with a full allotment of subs today. 7 players on the bench, including backup goalkeeper Tony Gonzalez. Meanwhile, PAO, only 3 subs on the day. Limited to 7 substitutions in the NPSL. And we shall see how both teams handle those subs. Talked about this being head coach Steve Provan's first year with the Torrent. That is as the men's head coach. He did spend last summer coaching with the Super Y teams. That was part of a new program that the Torrent started. Talked to Andy Davi about that last year. He said he was excited to get a summer program going for soccer players in and near the Milwaukee area, as no club teams around here have an actual summer league. And of course there is the Super Y League, that's a national league. And I believe it was his U13 boys that went to nationals in December. And Steve Provan was coach of one of those youth teams. Opportunity here for Milwaukee once again. Goal! Salvador Nunez, 21st minute of play, doubles the score for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Nunez is in his home debut for FC Milwaukee Torrent. What a way to start this game for the men in blue, up 2-0 early on. Nunez just sticking with that ball all the way, had to win it back twice, and great control in the end as he brought that ball down and just slid it by the Panathinaikos goalkeeper. Starting to hear the drums, the trombones, the horn section of the flood really coming to life as this home debut for the Torrent has been a treat so far for the fans in attendance and, well, for those Torrent fans watching the stream. Obviously, if you're a Chicago fan, a bit brokenhearted at the moment. The game started with Panathinaikos having some opportunities at the Torrent goal. They couldn't make any of them work, whereas the Torrent then quickly started to get hold of this game. Several corner kicks in the first 15 minutes, making one of those count, and now, again, a doubling of the lead in the 21st minute. And Torrent up 2-0. The forecast did not show any rain supposed to happen, but taking a look at the skies, it is getting a bit gray, very cloudy. We'll see if the weather takes a change here at all. Taking a look at the Great Lakes standings in the NPSL. This ball sent forward. That's an offside call. With that win over Milwaukee, Muskegon sits atop of the league with 3 points. Carpathia FC have 2 wins on the year. It shows 2 wins, 1 loss, but only 2 points, so that can't be accurate. That would be 6 points if they have 2 wins. Milwaukee once again threatening. Great ball played across the box. Nice heel. Off the post. Oh, that is a goal! Alex Fillion. That ball looked like it hit off of the post, but instead it was the back corner of the goal. And Fillion now with a brace, only 25 minutes into this game. We shall see if we can get confirmation of who the assist came from, but that was a beautifully played ball across the 18. Fillion, in only 9 minutes apart in his goals, puts the Torrent up now 3-0. The assist came from Salvador Nunez. Nunez with the second goal of the game in the 21st minute. Well, we were talking about possible rain coming in the area. One thing is for sure, the Torrent is raining goals here in this first half. Arms wrapped around Pace alone. No call made as this is a throw-in for Panathinaikos. Torrent are going to have to be careful here that they keep their calm. Now a foul called against Ethan Kratzer. Being up 3-0 this early. There's still lots of soccer to be played. Not even at halftime yet. It can be very easy to be out there and think you got this thing all wrapped up, and next thing you know, goals start pouring in on your side. Demetriou sends the ball into the box. Dealt with well from the Torrent. Weber with a header on it. Now Weber gets to the ball. Possible break here for the Torrent. Nunez on the ball, trying to turn his man. Still on the ball, tries to play it to Weber. Weber with an incredibly fast off-the-ball run, trying to open the field a bit for Nunez and looking to get the ball from Nunez. But some strong defensive play only momentarily from Chicago. Ball sent into the box once again. Well, Panathinaikos trying to find these quick transitions, but not able to connect on those passes in the middle and final third. And instead, consistently turning the ball over to the Torrent. Torrent playing with great confidence today. And we've seen the Torrent do well with their possession, which is one of the things Coach Provan was looking to see. We shall see if there is any card on this strong play. Yes, it is a yellow card issued to Joel Houston. in the 28th minute. Houston just coming from behind. Not even sure really if that was the play on the ball. That's about as close you can get to a straight red coming from behind. In soccer parlance, we may call that an orange card. But instead, for now, a yellow card, again in the 28th minute here against Joel Houston. Anyways, we were talking about the possession game that Provan wanted to see today. We certainly have seen that, and it has paid dividends for this home crowd. Ball played to Weber. Weber with his left foot. Saved. Torrent still trying to regain possession, but still applying pressure in their final third. Ball bouncing around at midfield, now sent forward. Easily dealt with by Daniel Reyna. Again, looking at the standings in the Great Lakes Conference, Milwaukee Torrent officially sitting on the bottom, but if these results hold, that'll give them 3 points on the season, effectively putting them in at least third place. Once again, Torrent not allowing Panathinaikos much of an opportunity there in the box, but the ball is sent out of bounds near the corner, but it is a throw-in for Chicago. Moraitakis with the throw-in. So many great Greek names on this Panathinaikos club, as you would expect. Head coach is Denny Chronopoulos. The Chronopoulos family involved in all different positions with this club. Ball played in. Sent up to midfield. That was by Kratzer. On the ball now is Niklos. Plays this up to Onios. On the far side. Ball played into Houston. Back to Onios. Onios moves the ball across to Bayer. Bayer now playing the ball back for a reset for PAO. That was Walters to Onios. To Houston. Ball played back once again. Ball played near the box. I think if that pass would have been completed, that would have been another offside call. Doesn't matter. Ball stays alive. Torrent showing great composure no matter how close Panathinaikos gets to the goal. Very calm in that back line, the Torrent is. Excellent ball played here. Now Belgo sending this one in. Saved and kept in bounds by Reyna. Right now we see a lot of play for Panathinaikos going through Belgo on the near side. I would imagine at halftime, Danny Chronopoulos is going to have a conversation about how Chicago has to get a bit more creative rather than trying the same thing over and over again, as it is not paying off for Panathinaikos. Salazar no for Milwaukee, and Nunez. Nunez loses the ball. Ball kept in. Onios sends this up. Ball still being played around, and instead Juarez will grab the ball for the Torrent, plays it back to his goalkeeper. And once again, we see the Torrent being very patient, coming out of the back. Very composed. Just again, looking for opportunities. They have found a few of them, and they've converted 3. In the 34th minute, FC Milwaukee Torrent up 3-0 here at Hart Park in Wauwatosa over the visiting Panathinaikos Chicago. Ball sent into the box. Opportunity for Chicago. Instead sent out by Kevin Juarez. Only as far as the 30, and right back into possession is Chicago. Belgo on the ball. Belgo with another shot. Reyna catching it off the bounce. Going to the turf just to be sure he's got total possession. Now back on his feet. Once again, if you are just tuning in to this live stream, welcome. And on behalf of everybody here at FC Milwaukee Torrent, my name is Simon Provan, and we are very glad to have you with us. Clouds moving in, but still an absolutely beautiful day for the beautiful game here at Hart Park. Nunez showing some beautiful footwork, and that's the last time I'll say beautiful for about the next 5 minutes. Throw in for Milwaukee. Weber, who returns to the Torrent this year after a couple of seasons away, also plays with the Milwaukee Wave, professional indoor team of the MASL. Ball sent long. Houston in control, and we do have our first train coming through Hart Park. 36th minute of play. One of the lovely features about Hart Park. If you're a potential sponsor out there, I'm telling you, be a great thing to sponsor. Is the train coming through Hart Park in Wauwatosa. We get 1, 2, 3 of those every single game. So if you are a sponsor and you're watching in on this game, there's a great sponsorship opportunity. Provan off of his bench, screaming at his defense to move up the field, wanting to shorten this field for PAO, not give him so much room. And this is exactly why PAO playing those long balls. Provan wanting to make Chicago work for those goals, and rather than giving opportunities away so easily. After a bit of a scare there in the box, Milwaukee once again, quick transition. 5 players in blue to 3 players in green. Fillion with a nice move, puts it on his left. Still in possession is Fillion. Can he keep it? No, he cannot. Chicago now with the ball, having similar ideas, moving up the field quickly. Torrent keeping 4 players back almost at all times. And again, another move that is paying dividends for them as Fillion has the ball, plays it back to Pace-Alone. Pace-Alone to Hibrovic, back to Pace-Alone. Back to Hibrovic. Again, just the patience that we're seeing even in the midfield. Give the Torrent so much credit for not forcing anything here in this first half. 38th minute of play. Torrent up 3-0. AR raises his flag for offside. Has a much better look at the field than I do, but I do have to say that was a bit questionable, as it looked like there was a player in green that kept Nunez onside. Nevertheless, we play on. Salon looking for Cervante. Instead, sent out of bounds by Moratakis of Chicago. Salazar with the throw. Puts this in the middle. Torrent are going to have to be careful here. We've seen the speed of Raf De Leon before. De La Linde. And no trouble there whatsoever for Juarez, who just takes the ball right off the foot of Lind. Misplayed ball there by Niklos. James Weber applying pressure. The referee sees a bit of a shove from Weber. Of course, Weber not happy with the call, but looked fair from here. Free kick for Panathinaikos, deep in their own part of the field. Very small field at the moment from the Torrent. Chicago trying to work their way around. This could be an opportunity. Offside call, but a beautiful save nonetheless from Reyna. Gets his full body in there, stands up afterwards in that Marvel-type stance. So even though that was an offside call, Reyna very happy to be able to make that save. Yellow card now issued to head coach Denny Chronopoulos of Chicago. 41st minute of play. Fourth official, Arai Durson, trying to get Chronopoulos back to his technical area. Chronopoulos was refusing. Don't know if he had a few choice words for the fourth official. But obviously, we saw center referee Zach Hellett not happy. Came running over and quickly issued Chronopoulos that yellow card. I think Chronopoulos may have been upset with that offside call, but I have to say from up here, it looked like a very obvious offside. Not much to question there in my book. Chicago applying some extra pressure here near the end of the first half in the 42nd minute now, depending on injury time. I imagine there'll be a couple of minutes. We had a couple of yellow cards, one injury. And this ball sent over the line. Reyna in no hurry to bring this ball to the goal box. Still a conversation happening between Chronopoulos and the fourth official. Very calm conversation this time. But we're most interested on what's going on the field. As the Torrent once again very patient in the back. Reyna now sends this forward after seeing some pressure from Chicago. Cervante on the ball. Looks to send it through a little bit too long. Tried to curve it to Fillion. But give credit to Arteaga, goalkeeper for Chicago. Read that one well, came out totally confident in getting that ball. 44th minute of play. Another offside call. Player didn't get to it anyways. That was Moraitakis looking to get onto the ball. In the end, that offside call didn't matter, as it was neutralized by the ball just going over the end line. Goal kick for Milwaukee. One minute left in this first half, plus whatever stoppage time is added to the clock. We shall see what Zach Hallett has to tell us and what his official watch says. Player down for the Torrent. This will add to any stoppage time. Actually, it looks like it was a foul that was called. Bringing the ball back. Hallett doing the right thing, making sure that play would continue in case the Torrent would find themselves with an advantage. And after it was clear that there was no advantage, Hallett brings the ball back to the spot of the foul. Three minutes of stoppage. And that 3 minutes of stoppage will start here in about 5 seconds. Officially in stoppage time now, as the Torrent look to perhaps get one more goal before the half. Ball played in off the head of Nunez. Ball soars a bit too high. Goal kick for Panathinaikos. Arteaga takes a quick goal kick. You see Niklos throwing up his arms to his teammates, asking for them to move. But again, Torrent defense holds up strong. Fillion looking for a quick ball to Weber, misplays it. Throws up his arms to apologize to Weber. Reyna doesn't mind, however, as he's got the ball at his feet, waiting for pressure from Chicago, none being applied. Reyna will be happy to stand there for the next 2 minutes, just letting the time tick away, and now picks up the ball after finally Demetrio applying some pressure to Reyna. At one point, Reyna just kind of threw his arms up like, hey, is anybody going to pressure me? Because I'm happy to stand here. But once again, Salazar on this right side, looking to play the ball in the middle. Nunez with the slip, otherwise that could have been a great opportunity for the Torrent. Chicago not showing much urgency, even though they are down 3-0, and this half is just about over. Weber heads the ball back. Kratzer all the way back to Reyna. Reyna out to Juarez. Juarez to Pesalone. Pesalone playing it back to Kratzer. As the Torrent just watch the clock tick away. It could be an opportunity here for Chicago. Houston on the ball, takes a shot. Another great save by Reyna. Ball was shot right at him, but it was hard, and he was there to answer the call. Pesalone once again crossing midfield for Milwaukee. Salazar on the right side. He's wide open. Pesalone with his signature ball to Salazar. Not able to keep it at his feet, though, as a nice play from Moraitakis. Moritaki sends it forward, but once again, Torrent back in possession. Weber on the right side. Weber to Salazar. Salazar back to Weber. Weber with a nice heel flick. Ball played in. It's live in the box, and now it is sent out for a corner. Nunez got a touch on that ball to send it towards the goal, but what a nice play there from James Weber. Mindful that he had support right behind him with not so much a heel flick as a heel roll. And the Torrent will have one last opportunity here before this half is over, sent in the box. And that will do it. The end of the first half. FC Milwaukee Torrent coming alive today after losing their first two. They are ahead in this game 3-0. What a great half for the Torrent, for the Men in Blue. Panathinaikos Chicago, they're going to have to figure some things out to stop the bleeding. I'm Simon Provan. Thanks so much for joining us in the first half. We're going to take a break here at the half. When we come back, we'll be with owner and head coach of the women's team, Andy Davi. We shall see you on the other side. Okay, maybe it's just this. Check. Welcome back to the FC Milwaukee Torrent stream. I'm here with owner and head coach of the women's side, Andy Davi. Andy, wonderful victory last night, starting the season with a 3-0 win in a derby match against Bavarian United. I'm assuming you're still riding a high today after not just having that victory last night, but the way in which the game was won.
Yeah, I was very pleased how it went. First 10 minutes were a little bit shaky. Can't forget, not as an excuse, but the whole team was there for the first time on Wednesday. Now with the college players, it's always different with finals when they can be there. Changed it after 10 minutes, the formation a little bit. Instead of one holding midfielder, two holding midfielders, and I think from there, even at the first 20, 25 minutes, Bavarians had like 2 chances, but I still think there was nothing that we were worried about. I told the girls to play calm, to keep the possession. We maybe get only 1 shot on goal. We got that 1 shot on goal in the first half, but it was in, right? I mean, the efficiency was there. It was important that they move as a whole team in that new formation. We played a 3-5-2. We have this year the players for it. We have, I believe, without talking to anybody down, the best roster that we ever had on the women's side. And the second half then, when you come out, you obviously say, hey, opponent is back. First 5-10 minutes are crucial. They're going to come hard. But then we scored in the 49th. And I think that really, even that 2-0 is the most important, the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Right, yes.
But I still think that second goal put already the plug for them. We played very smart, they were not stressed out when we were under pressure. We kept the ball, we played back. Everything we wanted to do, they did a very good job, and it all worked out.
Well, and give a lot of credit in that first half, keeping you in the game is your new goalkeeper, Mickey Easter. I mean, she 2 fingertip saves, pushed it over the crossbar. Those were opportunities that Bavarian United could have very easily gone up 2-0, but Mickey made those critical saves. What does it mean when you have a goalkeeper like that in your back line?
Well, it gives obviously the backline confidence that they know if there is a mistake, that there is a goalkeeper who really is like a kind of more like an insurance, right? And then on the other side, when you have a goalkeeper like this, the backline just plays completely different because they know there is somebody back there. I don't want to say that Mickey won the game for us, but with those 2 saves, she kept us in there, and I think nothing else came out. It was at the end of the second half that one ball that Bonnie cleared off on the line.
Absolutely, yes.
From the corner kick. But other than that, again, dominant, defensively very good. We still need a week to be where I want them to be.
Sure.
What is normal. But yeah, I'm very happy. I mean, when you start with a 3-0 like this against, I think, what will be the strongest opponent in the conference, you can't complain. Right now, I mean, they have already 2 games played, only 1 point. We try, obviously, to get another 3 on Monday. So we'll see.
How are your preparations different when you're playing against a team like Bavarian United, where you've got players on your squad, players on their squad that play at the same schools? A lot of them go to UW Milwaukee or Marquette. And now Monday, you're playing against a team that's brand new to the WPSL, the Midwest SA Muskrats. Again, how do you approach these? Do you approach these games differently? Do you approach them in the same way? Is there a mixture of the two?
Well, the game yesterday is like, you don't have to talk a lot. I mean, this is a derby. They all know each other. Don't want to forget all the other girls. It's basically UWM Marquette versus UWM Marquette.
Right, yes.
And it's the game on Monday, for example, is a completely different preparation because I watched 2 of the games. They had 2 games. One was cancelled. Scrimmages. You watch the scrimmages. You pick out 2 or 3 players. Watch this one. It will be for sure completely different when they show up here on Monday than the 2 scrimmages where they probably new group didn't play their best soccer. So they had another week also to prepare. And I'm just glad that we had this one game in. But you prepare differently for those games.
I imagine. We're just about to get to kickoff. We're going to keep you here for just a little bit, Andy. So let's go back out to the field. Let's talk about this game a bit. The men have been struggling. They had their 2 road games. I talked about that in the pregame. A 2-1 loss to Carpathia, then a 1-0 loss in a shortened game to Muskegon Risers. They come out today. One of the things that Coach Provan talked about he wanted to see a lot more of was control of the ball, keeping possession. We've certainly seen that. For you, what are and maybe I just gave you the answer, but what are the main differences that you're seeing from the team that lost those 2 games to now being up 3-0 over Panathinaikos here in the first half?
Attitude. That's simple. One word is enough, attitude. Not that they... the first 2 games, it's hard because you can say, Cacho isn't here as a new coach. It's completely different. The coaches run the team different. However, it's an attitude, right? And to be honest, in those 2 games that we played and that we lost, we were the better team. But if you think about last year, we had many games or several games that were tight.
Real quick opportunity here for Chicago. Yet again, another strong play by Juarez. He's been a stalwart in the game today.
Yeah, he got in Thursday night. We just hired him Thursday night from California.
Well, a great pickup to have.
Yeah. So we needed to react. Aiden DeBoer is out for the season. But to come back to this, the games that we won last year were tight games. The situations that we needed to win last year, we did win. In the last 2 games, we didn't. That was the difference. And we didn't win those situations because of the attitude. That's my opinion.
That makes sense. And one thing I've noticed today, and I can say this because he's my brother, this is probably the most animated I have seen Coach Provan in the 3 games that you've had. Opportunity here for the Torrent back in the box. James Weber with the header. And now ball falls to Fillion. Fillion on the near side tries to turn it in, not able to do so. But again, momentarily it looked like he was going to be in possession of the Torrent. And Pace Leon, again, a returning player. I keep talking about how his pinpoint passes, like we're seeing here, it's, maybe not as good on that one. But
no, I don't know if you know, but he's going to transfer to Parkside.
Oh, I didn't know that. Jason
Zitsky is going to become a very, very, very good player. And I'm actually happy that he will be then in Wisconsin. So, Jules was very important after we knew we didn't get Ian Cerro, Malik Minana. It was very important that Jules comes back. Losing Sam Novak with a torn MCL for at least 6 weeks, basically your whole central the key players,
the spine of the team.
Yes, yeah. They all either left or injured, and they left because they got to the next level, right?
Right. Ian Cerro playing with Chattanooga.
Yeah. Oh, that
James
was a
Weber.
great ball.
Weber with a nice move.
That was a great pass. Unreal.
James Weber here in the 49th minute of play. What a treat this is for the fans in attendance. Weber.
I didn't even notice who passed that ball to him. That was a great pass.
We will get confirmation of who that assist was from, but it was an absolutely beautiful pass.
See, and this is when we talk about what didn't work in the last few games, right? This didn't work in the last few games. That passing, or if you, I don't know if it was the second or the third goal where Chava flicked the ball back with the heel back to Alex Fillion so that he can just put the ball.
Yes.
We didn't create those situations in the last 2 games, and we couldn't create those situations because, like I said, of the attitude. This is a completely different.
Yeah, you talk attitude, and one of the things, and it's not just because of the scoreline, but certainly helps, is I'm seeing some joy in these players. Not just when they score a goal, but you're talking about that heel flick. You saw players get excited about that and wanting to take advantage of those opportunities. By the way, the assist on that is Nunez. So in his home debut for the Torrent, Andy, Nunez has a goal and 2 assists. That is quite a way to start your home campaign.
Yeah, and that's a big shout out to Marty Latail from the Brewers, who always he already recommended to us that we're going to get Michael Carrion last year, and Marty is just a great guy to really not selfish, to say, hey, you know what, those boys, they should play with you on a higher level than here. So thank you, Marty, for this. And again, I mean, he scored the first game, he scored here now. Just great.
Yeah, we keep talking about things that are paying off dividends, the possession, the attitude, and certainly some of these newer players.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts, Andy, before we get you out of here and enjoy this second half?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was good that the whole team was here yesterday to saw the women, watching the women play. Maybe that helped them a little bit, because they actually said, hey, Dad, we can laugh. So it was good for them to see that I have also fun with them.
There you go, yes.
And because again, they sometimes forget that this is a business that we run here, and but yeah, it's all good. We're happy that we have a result like this right now, and we just have to keep going on now.
Another opportunity here for the Torrent. Great ball played in. Just a little bit too far behind. But that was a great first ball from the back line up front. Juarez, mentioned his name a lot. Crowd getting a bit excited with the ball coming into the stands. Well, Andy, I'm looking forward to Memorial Day as we have a noon kickoff welcoming Muskrats SA, or SA Muskrats. It'll be interesting to see this new team in the WPSL.
Yeah, it will be. We're excited. We want to go for 2 in a row, starting the weekend of the season with 6 points. That is a statement. You know, when you have 2 games in 3 days and you win both, that's a statement. And chip it.
Another
that's
goal.
In. Yes!
Goal! Thank you, Andy.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Now up 5-0, Salvatore Nunez with a brace today. Unbelievable. Fans are going crazy. This in the 53rd minute. So Nunez adding to his points total on the day. 2 goals, 2 assists. We got looking back for the assist. Yeah. My, oh my, 5-0. Torrent comes out in the second half and puts up 2 quick goals, 4 minutes apart in the 49th and the 53rd. Boy, talk about a team that is finding its footing. Congratulations to this Torrent team. Well, when you lose your first 2 games of the season, this is quite a way to come back and say, we are not done yet. We are not laying down. And here, yet another opportunity for the Torrent. Total control in the midfield. Michael Carrion with that pass to the outside. Salazar trying to bring that in, but it does go out for a Torrent corner kick. Carrion Jr. will handle corner kick duties. at least on the far side of the field. In the box, Carrion. Ball goes out of bounds for a goal kick for Chicago. Torrent throwing. Provan happy to keep his starting 11 out there. Ball played into the box. Headed out by Mbaya, my apologies. Belgo on the ball for Chicago. Houston trying to get in position to receive the ball. Ball shot. Belgo goes down. No call by the referee. Goal kick for Milwaukee. PAO has all three subs up on their feet, warming up at the far end of the field. And it looks like some substitutions will be made as Denny Chronopoulos hands the fourth official his substitution card. Well, there was a lot of concern with Cacho leaving and quite a few of his players also leaving, as Andy Davi was talking about at the half. And some of those, Pesalone losing the ball in the sun. Houston in the box for Chicago. Great grab out of the air by Reyna. And it looked like some of those worries were founded in those first two games with the losses. Of course, Coach Provan and Andy Davi both confirmed that the Torrent were the better team in those two games. They just didn't have that precise passing that we're seeing today, as we do there. Several one-touch passes. Nunez trying to get on the end of this. He's able to. But Arteaga gets to the ball as well and sends it out for a Torrent throw-in. But now today we're seeing that precise passing that wasn't happening in those first two games. Torrent definitely making a statement as they are up 5-0 here in the 59th minute of play. Finding their chemistry, having better attitudes, finding joy on the field, making those precise passes. Offside call against the Torrent. But that is what we are seeing today, and you hope that that is what we see the rest of the season for the Torrent. Next home game for the men is next Friday, June 4th at 7 p.m., taking on Carpathia, whom they lost to 2-1 in Michigan. Of course, it's never easy when you think you're going to have a home game and then a day beforehand you find out you're actually going to be traveling to the other team's home. And that is what happened with the Torrent. They were supposed to play at home against Carpathia on May 14th, and the day before they found out Carpathia couldn't make the trip here, so Torrent went out to Carpathia. And instead of playing at home on May 14th against the men from Michigan, Torrent will play them next Friday. Again, that game is at 7 p.m. And with what we're seeing from the Torrent today, you would think that we are going to see a much better game out of the men in blue against that Carpathia FC team. Substitutions now for Chicago. Players coming onto the field, number 99, Nico Williams, as well as number 17, Jimmy Matthew, taking the short way off the pitch is a very visibly upset Ethan Beyer. Not sure if he's upset about coming off or if he's upset about this scoreline. Also coming off the pitch, who was very active out on the field, number 14, Belgo. So much of that first half for Chicago, all the plays were going through Belgo. He tended to give them the best opportunities at goal. But of course, none of them converting as Chicago's down 5-0 here to the Torrent. A couple of substitutions coming the Torrent's way as well soon. Weber slipping on the pitch. Good to see him get back up right away. Always a little bit scary when you see somebody slide on artificial turf and the first thing they do is grab their knee. But it looked like he was just using his knee for assistance to get up. Alex Fillion with a strong play on the ball. Ball at Weber's feet. Weber sends it over to Nunez. Pesalon looking to send this one towards the Panathinaikos goal, but instead there's nobody there from the Torrent able to reach that. And it'll be a Panathinaikos throw-in. All right, substitutions for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Number 32, Byron Gutierrez coming on the field. And number 10, Kevin Herrera. Coming off the field for the Torrent, number 6, the man that was the anchor in the defense today, Kevin Juarez. And number 99, James Weber. Weber with a goal in the 49th minute after a wonderful ball played to him by Nunez. Great to see Weber back on the Hart Park pitch. And we are in the 65th minute of play. Herrera with his first touch sends it across. Pesa Leon falling basically in the same place that Weber did just before. Chicago was looking for a quick counter. Now things slow down a bit. Carrion may have taken an elbow, inadvertent, but may have taken an elbow to the face as he was trying to look to flick that ball on. And I believe he caught an errant elbow instead, went straight down, grabbing his face. Such a strong player for the Torrent, you hope that he's okay. So far, no trainers called out to the field. Immediate whistle there by Zach Hallett because of the head injury. Carrion up on his feet now. Always great to see. And Torrent were in possession of that ball as Reyna collected the ball right before Hallett blew the whistle, so it'll remain in possession of the Torrent. Milwaukee not resting on their laurels. Came into the second half up 3-0. Now they're up 5-0. Pesalon once again falling victim to the turf monster. But Milwaukee still remains in possession. Throw in for the Torrent. Foul called against Milwaukee. You saw there some great leadership by Nunez as Herrera wanted to have a few words. Not sure with the referee or the player from Chicago, but Nunez stepped in right away and shoved Herrera out of the way, basically telling him, don't worry about it. And especially when you're up 5-0, you don't want to get any unnecessary cards.
Just a little bit, yeah. So I keep having to look down to find it, and then the camera keeps going down.
Gotcha. I just didn't know it's like you're slow on that side. You're doing a good job though.
Ball rolls out of bounds, much to the dismay of Chicago. Throw in. Actually, looks like a foul was called. Pace alone will take the duties. That makes sense. I thought perhaps they would maybe look for a play in the box, but Milwaukee looking to be content to start taking some time off the clock. Perhaps a little bit careless here in the second half are the Torrent when the ball is at their feet. If you're Reyna after today's strong game, you want to make sure you walk out of here with a shutout. And that was a heavy sigh from the crowd as Nico Williams almost puts one in the back of the net for Chicago. Went through the hands of Reyna, but thankfully, ball went over the goal rather than in the goal. Panathinaikos in their first game of the season today. I had actually thought that they had played a game or two, but obviously wrong about that. Their next game is on Tuesday, May 31st, taking on the Muskegon Risers. And that game is at home at Olympic Park in Schaumburg, Illinois. Big youth tournament going down at Olympic Park today. In fact, my youngest daughter, Bethany, is a guest player on one of those teams today. A shout out to her and all of her teammates. Hope they do well. Good communication from the Torrent. Herrera trying to play this one into the box. Possibility here. Bobbled at first by Arteaga. Able to finally get control and plays it out to his defenders. Pace alone, able to get that ball. Now Fillion on the left side of the box. Fillion! Third or fourth turf monster that we've seen take advantage of these players. Fillion smacking the ground in frustration as he knew he had an opportunity to take that one into the box and either take a shot on goal himself or lay it off. There were 2 or 3 Torrent players on the right side that he could have looked at. But instead, big slip on the ground. Hard to blame a player for that when their footing simply gets lost under them. "15 minutes of regulation remaining in this one, as we are now in the 70th minute of play. Each club having made 2 substitutions, 7 total substitutions in the NPSL. Speaking of the NPSL, the original NPSL actually stood for National Professional Soccer League. Carrion plays this to Herrera. Herrera with the left shot. Nice save, but Fillion with the follow-up, not able to get there. Some nice play there by the Torrent. Anyways, giving a little history about Steve Provan, head coach of the Torrent. Played in the old National Professional Soccer League. That was an indoor league. He was originally drafted by the Canton Invaders, spent a couple of years there, then played with the old Cincinnati Silverbacks, and finished his career with the Milwaukee Wave. Nico Williams on the ball for Chicago. Torrent with other plans, however, as Williams was streaking into the Torrent box. Kratzer was the player who won that ball off of Williams' feet. And now Torrent happy to knock this ball around. Provan also played professionally outdoors in the pre-MLS days, by the way, with the Milwaukee Rampage, which was a professional outdoor team here that played in the old A-League, which its equivalent today would be the USL Championship. Also played with the Hampton Road Mariners. In fact, had a game, an exhibition game, strong tackle there. That was Salazar. Won't be surprised if perhaps we see a card on that one. It doesn't look like Hallett is reaching in his pocket for that. And Chicago is going to make their final substitution, as Oliveras is at midfield with the fourth official waiting to come in. Oliveras now on the field for Chicago as he replaces Raf de la Linde.
Substitution for PAO, number 23.
So fun story about Provan when he was playing at Hampton Road Mariners. Again, that also in the A-League. Had an exhibition match against DC United in which Coach Bruce Arena was coaching DC United at the time. He was so impressed with Steve Provan. He talked to him after the game about possibly calling him up to the Olympic team. And unfortunately, Provan had turned, I believe, 24 or 25 at that time. And with him being overage, he eventually obviously was not called up, even though you can have 3 overage players for the Olympics. Arena that year went with 3 of the players that were on the full national team. But still a cool story for Steve Provan to have been looked at by Bruce Arena as a player high enough in quality to be considered for the U.S. Olympic team. 2 more substitutions now for the Torrent as they give some of the younger players some experience. Coming onto the field, number 20, Nicholas Lopez, and number 14, Kai Pritchard. Coming off is Nunez, who had an amazing game today, and Alex Fillion. So those 2 responsible for 4 of the 5 goals today. Fillion in the 16th and 25th minutes. Nunez with an assist in the 21st. Nunez with another assist in the 25th, that on Fillion's. And Nunez with a 3rd assist on Weber's goal in the 49th. And Nunez topped it all with a goal himself in the 53rd. Offside called. I do have to say that one was questionable. It looked when the ball was played that the player was onside, as Cervante looked to have held up his run. But again, AR has a much better line of vision with that call. And on the other side, another offside call. This on Joel Houston. Houston not happy with that call either. My live stream producer, Kevin O'Connor, confirming that that was, in fact, offside on the Torrent. So I'll just shut my mouth now. And we have 2 more substitutions. Why not give your youngsters more time today? It's the 75th minute. I believe I said 15 minutes when it was at the 70th. I can't do maths, apparently. Anyways, coming on the field, 21 and 19. 21 being Benjamin Nicholson, 19 Alex Foreman. Taking a break, a man who has run the midfield all day long, Pesalon, as well as Yuri Ibrovich. Did not say Ibrovich's name too much today, but he was very active and a central part of that midfield as well. Carrion standing over the ball for Milwaukee. 76th minute of play now. Ball played in beautifully. Cervantes on the ball, plays it back out. Played right back to Cervantes from Gutierrez. Foreman. Nicholson. Now played all the way back to Kratzer, who plays it across. Carrion. Pritchard. Pritchard on this far near side, trying to take the ball in. Carrion back to Herrera. Herrera not afraid to take a few players on. It was 3 versus him. Carrion Jr. beautifully played in the box. Can it be kept in? Instead, it will be a goal kick for Chicago. Shove in the box, easy penalty call, frustration there from Panathinaikos. A shrug of the shoulders. We will see who steps up. I would expect it to be, and it is, Carrion Jr. I believe that was Moraitakis with the shove. And he literally looked at the referee and shrugged his shoulders afterwards. Carrion Jr. Goal! 78th minute of play. Torrent go up 6-0 with that PK conversion by Carrion, who so calmly stepped up to the ball. Placed it on the left side of Arteaga. And there was no question of who was taking that kick. As soon as the referee blew his whistle for the PK, Carrion made his way to the spot. And as I said, very calmly stepped up, put that ball in. And Torrent now looking for a 7th. Strong tackle from Chicago. Foul called against Torrent on that play. Alex Foreman, the man the foul was called against, as he was grabbing the shirt, the arms, the core of Mbaya. Well, what a treat for the FC Milwaukee Torrent fans on this Memorial Day weekend. Second half output of goals equaling that of the first. But Torrent want more. Carrion Jr. once again making a run into the box. Offside call. That goal will not count, as Lopez was in an offside position. Easy call there by the AR. Some of that inexperience, that youthfulness from Lopez. Just not checking to see where the line was, and he was several steps ahead of the second-to-last defender on that play. But that's why you give these younger guys some time in these games, where the result really is no longer in question. Also gives the crowd a chance to applaud those players who have done so well today. Just a quick review of all the goals that have been scored in the 16th minute. 16th minute, Fillion off of a corner kick from Carrion. Looked like somebody else may have gotten ahead on that ball, but then Fillion stuck his feet in there and put it in the back of the net. And then Salvador in the 21st minute, after receiving a pass from Nunez, Salvador put the Torrent up 2-0. Fillion, who got the first goal of the game, got his second in the 25th minute. Nunez, again with an assist on that goal. And then in the 49th minute, so 4 minutes after the second half started, James Weber made a run into the box, and Nunez sent him a fantastic pass, putting that in the back of the net. And then Nunez, after getting 3 assists on the day in the 53rd minute, stayed on his feet, fought hard, and ended up scoring a goal of his own. And now we just saw that penalty kick 3 minutes ago, as Michael Carrion Jr. started the day with an assist and got his own goal in the 78th minute. Opportunities in the end for Chicago have been few, thanks to this very strong defensive play by the Torrent and some really nice saves by Reyna, goalkeeper for Milwaukee. If there were questions coming into this game as to whether or not this Torrent team could do something special, any doubts have been put away. They've had total control of this game today. Talked about it in the first half, and we see it repeated here in the second. Total composure by the men in blue, even with the substitutes that have come onto the field. Yeah, we've seen a few slips here or there, but nobody playing scared whatsoever. Reyna sending this ball out of bounds after he sees no options for him to get the ball to. Now in the 83rd minute of play. Foul called. Perhaps this is the opportunity Chicago has been looking for. Outside of the box here on the near side. Everybody lining up on the far side of the penalty area. Ball sent in, headed away quickly. Can Milwaukee find their 7th? Pritchard plays this ball in the middle to Herrera. Herrera now one-touches it to Lopez. Lopez on the run with the shot just over the crossbar. My goodness, even from these 3 young players, we saw some great one-touch, two-touch play out there. Going from a free kick for Chicago on one end, and the Torrent quickly moving the ball upfield, almost scoring a goal on the other end. Houston trying to fight his way around Salazar. Salazar not having any of that. And instead, this will be a throw-in for the Torrent. Two yellow cards on the day today, both in the first half. First one going to, both of them going to Panathinaikos, actually. But the first one going to Joel Houston in the 28th minute. And the second yellow that we saw today went to Denny Chronopoulos, head coach of Panathinaikos. Thankfully, the rain has stayed away. Just a couple of trickles at halftime. That's all we experienced. Looks like Reyna may go the full 90 today as we are in the 86th minute of play now. Torrent making their first home game of the season, a special one, up 6-0 over Panathinaikos of Chicago. This is a fair play, player onside. This is Pritchard. Can Pritchard make it 7? Yes, he can! Goal! Kai Pritchard with the 7th goal of the game, 86th minute of play. As I said, the Torrent are not done. Kai Pritchard making his home debut for the Torrent. Make sure that the Torrent put this well out of any opportunity for Chicago. If you're the Torrent, now you're thinking, let's keep this 0 on the board when it comes to Panathinaikos. Great to score all these goals, but certainly would love to see Reyna get his shutout in this homestand. Panathinaikos perhaps with other plans. Shot on goal here, just outside. Score remains 7-0. Well, what a stunning result, and a very entertaining one at that for these home fans. By the way, I believe the assist on that comes from Benjamin Nicholson. He was just over the midfield line, then played that ball perfectly up to Pritchard. And again, the confidence of that young man. Sometimes you get young players that they see that they may have this opportunity on goal and their eyes get bigger than their feet. They try to crack one. They use power before placement, but not Pritchard. He knew where he wanted to put it after making that great move on the keeper. And result being 7th goal of the game for Milwaukee. 89th minute now. Although it may have been Herrera, as I'm looking back at the stream. Very, very difficult to tell. But what matters is in the end is that ball went in the back of the net, and Pritchard was the one who did that. Chicago now trying to get a goal here in the dying minute or minutes of this game as we are in the 89th, 90th minute of play. Player down, that's Joel Houston for Panathinaikos in the Torrent box. Looks like he's suffering from some cramping out there. And you know when your team is down, that is not a fake cramp, so Reyna running over to help him at first. Now he's got some teammates over there stretching out. Perhaps his quad muscle, calf. Looks more like his calf that's giving him trouble. Wind whipping around here at Hart Park. And that'll do it. No stoppage time. I guess when the score is that large, there's no reason to give any false hope to anybody. So that is how it ends today for the men's side of FC Milwaukee Torrent. 7-0 against Panathinaikos of Chicago. Fillion with 2 goals today. Nunez with 3 assists and a goal. Weber with a goal. Nunez actually has... No, I was correct. I've got so many notes on so many goals, it's getting hard to read my own chicken scratch. Kai Pritchard with a goal in the 86th. In the 78th minute, Carrion Jr. In the 53rd minute, Nunez. Weber with that goal in the 49th. Fillion in the 25th. Salvador in the 21st. And Fillion in the 16th, going backwards from when those goals were scored. Well, what a turn in results as Milwaukee gets on the board early and often, winning today 7-0. My name is Simon Prova, and thank you so much for joining us on the stream. We're not going to go away just yet, but we will take a break. We'll break down a little bit of this game on the other side of this break. Hang with us. We'll see you on the other side. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this post-game analysis. Actually, there's not much to analyze in this FC Milwaukee Torrent versus Panathinaikos Chicago game. It was, well, a torrential downpour of goals by FC Milwaukee Torrent, making their home debut on the schedule in 2022. They had lost their previous two games, 2-1 to Carpathia and then 1-0 to Muskegon Risers. They come back today, give the fans a reason to celebrate, a reason to party, and they win 7-0. I have to use my cheat sheet because I can't remember when all these goals were scored. But in the 16th minute, Fillion, off of a corner kick from Carrion, puts the ball in the back of the net, and that started what I said, a torrential downpouring of goals for Milwaukee. In the 21st minute, after an excellent run by Nunez, Salvador puts the ball in the back of the net, making it 2-0. Just 4 minutes later, Fillion would complete his brace with a second goal for him, third goal of the game, and a repeated theme here, Nunez with a second assist on that. In the 49th minute, on the other side of the whistle, James Weber returns to Hart Park and gets a goal for himself after a beautiful pass from, once again, Nunez, getting his third assist on the day. And then Nunez would get his own goal in the 53rd minute, and just 25, well, not just 25 minutes later, it felt like a drought, but 25 minutes later, Carrion Jr. gets a goal off of a PK, and in the 86th minute, Kai Pritchard gets on the field and scores a goal, making his Torrent debut at home as well, finishing the scoring at 7-0 for FC Milwaukee Torrent. If you're at home watching the stream and you live in Milwaukee, get out here for the next game for the men. That is June 4th at 7 p.m. as they get another shot at Carpathia FC. That game was originally scheduled in Wauwatosa on May 14th, but got moved out to Detroit, and instead that game is now being played on Friday, June 4th. Head coach Steve Provan said he wants to see his team possess a lot more, wants to see them move around, wants to see them be confident in themselves. He got all of that out of the team today, and with a scoreline like 7-0, who can argue against that? That's it, my friends. We thank you so much for joining us. A thank you to Kevin O'Connor, who is the director of our live stream, to our cameraman, Ben Sturridge, as well as Dylan Dooley. Dylan Dooley doing double duty. How many more D's can I say in that sentence? Is also the PA man here running the camera while he's outside with his wireless headset. So a special shout out to Dylan Dooley as well. I am Simon Provan on behalf of everyone here at FC Milwaukee Torrent. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on Monday for the women's game as they take on Midwest Select SA Muskrats at noon. See you then.